Patrice.
And I'm Whitney.
And we are the creators of the Artist Guide to the Music Industry, where we break down the do's and don'ts for artists. We have booked many gigs, places like
Gillette Stadium.
And Fenway Park.
And NASCAR.
You can check some things up there. And we only say that because it comes from a point of view that we have done some pretty cool things.
Yes.
And we've also worked with some pretty incredible artists who have been able to do incredible things. And so really neat thing is from our own personal experience and then from working with other artists, we've noticed certain things that really work and other things that don't. While keeping in mind that you should always stay on top of things because this business is ever evolving.
Yes.
Right? And so we're here to kind of help you with that. And today we want to talk about the importance of knowing it all. Might be surprised where we're going with that, but stay tuned as we kind of break down what you may want to know as an artist. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So why do you want to know it all? Well, as a DIY artist, probably you're here because you are searching for answers in the industry that you're trying to do on your own. Right. And so at one point, you're eventually going to want to outsource different jobs, different responsibilities. But it's important to know all the different areas and the different things that you need to do to thrive as an artist. So this way, as things get passed on, you can then manage it more properly.
Correct. You're starting a business as a musician, and you want to know all the areas of it so that you're not missing an important one.
Yeah, and I think so say for example, right? So we'll break down some areas that you would want to understand and know. Well, you'd want to understand social media to a certain extent. Maybe the best time to post things or what the function of each social media outlet is. You would want to know how to book gigs and what is the process that goes into booking gigs.
You want to know the right questions to ask so that if you're talking to someone who you might be outsourcing your things to, that they know that certain things need to be done, or else you're going to have to do it anyway. And what's the point of outsourcing? How many times does that happen?
Yes.
Like, oh, you know what? It's important that I know this so that I know you know it.
Or the amount of times that people like what goes into being a manager. And that can vary depending upon different contracts and so forth. But overall, like what makes a good manager, right? These are kind of things that you're going to want to know. So by knowing it all, doesn't mean in an arrogance way, because it can seem that way, like, why don't you know it all? But the more you understand about the different areas and the different pillars that are going to build you up as an artist, the more successful you will be. So you're going to want to know how to book gigs and what makes great management and how to upload a song onto the distribution sites. What about contracts and split sheets? Because if you don't at least understand that in a vague sense, and even me, I mean, those can get pretty construed. So sometimes it's best to find a lawyer to help you. Yeah. But there's basic stuff that I'm walking into something like, 50-50. You know, what does that mean? What is the pod like each song that you create? You know, what ownership? That's part of kind of like the 50-50 split there. Even before you book time with a producer, is this a work for hire? So there's so many different things that go into it. And as we break out different videos, be sure to subscribe. So weekly content coming out, we're going to be breaking down a lot of these different things there. But today's just about discussing the idea that some people just want to create, which is amazing. You get it. I get it. There's times I'm like, I just want to create. I don't always want to do the business aspect of things.
But you can't create and then just leave it on your laptop.
Yeah.
Because one, what will happen? No one will hear it.
Yes.
No one. And you'll forget it's there, and maybe your laptop crashes and it's gone. You need to get it out there, but you need to know how. You need to know all the ways how.
The full process. And I think that's kind of the beauty and the curse behind being an independent artist. It's like sometimes over and over you hear people, and I get it, I've complained, where it's like, oh, there's so much to do. But in the end of the day, the really, really good thing is, and just side note, I mean, it's ever evolving,
Yeah.
right? Like, so it's always kind of trying to stay on top of things to the best of your ability. Having a good team is important. That can help you and stay on top of things as well and share that information so you're in the know. But where is it going with that? Oh my gosh.
Well, you have full control over everything as
Yeah.
an independent artist.
Yes.
And that can be a good thing,
That's
but
what-
it can also be a little stressful. But if you're looking at it a positive way, you get to make all the
You're
calls.
making all the moves. That's where I was kind of going with it. Thank you. Sometimes I'm
welcome.
like, wait, I went off the room. It's you know, it's hard initially and a lot of people complain about it, but think about it as your foundation, right? Like you're really building a strong foundation where different things go out, say, like you said, the booking agent isn't asking the right questions, or they're asking for like a crazy percentage that isn't really worth it, then those are the kinds of things.
Yeah.
Or I've heard of different places being like, oh, we'll get you signed, but you just pay us this. It's like, red flag.
Red flags never turn green.
There we go. We are wrapping up here, but we want to make sure you know we are going to be hosting a free live webinar. There's no catch to this. If you want to get our courses, you most definitely can. We'd love to have you and train you and work with you all. But in this live webinar, it's completely free, and we don't just kind of gloss over things. I hate that. We really are going to take a deep dive into the 5 pillars of success that you need to have in place as an artist in order to really thrive. And so we're going to talk about how setting goals and the importance of that, talk about what makes up a brand. We're going to talk about the different areas of cash flow, so this way you can really look at that, take that song and make it work for you. We're going to talk about what actually makes up a great artist. Right?
Yeah.
Like, not many people always talk about that necessarily, but there is elements that make someone an incredible artist that's going to sell tickets for shows. And then lastly, a winning mindset. Because technique, mindset, they go.
You could have all of the above, understanding what makes up an artist, all of the areas, cash flow, your brand, and your goals, and then you have a mindset of, well, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
Guess what?
You're not going to make it. So, be sure, sign up below. Like I said, it's free for you all. We look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully this helps. As always, comment below. If you are having questions, you're running into things, we are here to help you to the best of our abilities.
Yes.
All right, till next time.